Hello and welcome to the Daily Mill for Wednesday, the 17th of August 2022. We are going to start off today's video with some more post-match comments after yesterday's late draw. It's quite funny watching all the stories come up online yesterday night. A couple of the stories from News at South London Press went up about 1 a.m. because obviously they had to rewrite it. Now I'm sure they're glad that they had to rewrite it because it was a positive result with Millwall. But yeah, a late one there in South Wales filing your stories at 1 a.m. Crazy day. So Millwall boss on decisive moment in Swansea draw. This is from newsatden.co.uk. Gary Rowett discussed Mill's character and highlighted the decisive moment in their 2-2 draw with Swansea City. The Lions were 2-0 down inside the opening 12 minutes of the match, but forced 2 own goals in stoppage time, still a valuable point at the death. It's the second time in 2 games that Millwall have come from 2 goals down to pick up the result, and while Rowett praised the character they've shown to achieve that, he told News at Den he was frustrated by the lack of quality side have shown at the start of games. It shows massive character, but character doesn't get you at the top end of the division alone, the Millwall boss explained. I think you have to add some intelligence to that, some skill, and some tactical acumen. We didn't show that enough in the opening stages of the game. I thought we got better. I thought the second half was a pretty decent performance. We were much better. We chased the game. We made some decisions that I wouldn't normally make. I took 2 defenders off out of the back 3 to put more pace in there because I felt as though we were going to go to attack and put them under pressure. We then had to be able to deal with counter-attacks. Supporters will obviously reflect on the 2 goals in stoppage time as the main highlight of the match, but Rowett picked out another moment that he believed helped Millwall to fight their way back into the game. One massive moment in the game was actually just as good as the second goal. It was Ryan Leonard's tackle on Obafemi. I thought that was a moment that gave us a chance to win or to take some points out of the game. You looked at that moment and think it was going to be 3-1, clearly, and Lenny makes the ground up. He's so quick over 40 or 50 yards, he just gets quicker. Great decision to wait with a tackle and come across from the other side. It was a wonderful tackle and probably worth more than a goal to us at that point because it would have been game over. We continue to put them under pressure, and if you keep knocking on the door and asking questions, then it's up to the opposition to deal with it and see the game out. We managed to take something out of a game where after the first 30 minutes I couldn't see us taking anything at all. Indeed, so there's more from Gary Rowett, and yeah, we're doubling up. That's also from londonnewsonline.co.uk, South London Press's online website. They basically have the same story. It doesn't get any easier for outsiders. They go to Norwich on Friday night. Ground they haven't won at since 1968. Asked if his side should feel confident heading into Carrow Road, he said they should be. I said this after the weekend. They should have been in a very buoyant mood after a 3-2 win, and we have to take that into the game. But we didn't really. When you concede after a minute, it knocks the stuff out of you a bit. It knocks our confidence a bit more than I like in those moments, and we struggle for the next 10 minutes. Look at our home record over the last 20 games. How many teams have come and beaten us away from home? Not many. Lots of teams in this division have the same opportunity at home because it's easier to play at home. What we should be able to do is be a good old team away from home because we've got character about us. We've got that aggression. We could be better. Hopefully this point gives us a bit of belief going into Friday, but we have to recover first. Okay. And we are gonna go to, remarkably, BBC Sport with a story on Millwall that's a bit more. They have the match reports and things like that. They do the bare minimum, but to actually have a little quote from Gary Rowett as a story, kind of weird. This is from bbc.co.uk. Gary Rowett, Millwall boss, credits fans for staying to see the comeback. Yeah, why? Well, I guess they had to because they were probably on the coaches, and or they were probably waiting for a lift home. I don't know. Boss Gary Rowett says he was surprised Millwall fans stayed to witness their stoppage time heroics at Swansea. Well, not being funny, if you go to 2 down after 15 minutes, you're not going to walk out. If you go 2 down in the 80th minute, 85th minute, then yeah, you're probably going to walk out because there's 10 minutes left. And what are you going to do in 10 minutes? Well, not much. But if you're 2-0 down inside 15 minutes, you might as well stay. And if you stay, you might as well stay right to the end. The Lions were 2-0 down inside 12 minutes, but with the fans heading for the exits on 93 minutes, Harry Darling's own goal halved the deficit. Then 3 minutes later, Nathan Wood turned a cross into his own net to send the travelling fans into rapture. I tell you what I did see, because watching on Sky Sports News, they had the goals as they went in. You could see in the background of the woman who's doing the live score updates, all the Swansea fans walking out. I can't believe they stayed. If I was them, I would have been tempted to go after 25 minutes, Rowett said. He told BBC Radio London, "We knew this week was a hellish week. No team would relish a 5-hour trip down to Swansea on a Tuesday night, let alone the fans. They are passionate about the club, and at least the players showed that same passion in the second half to get something out of the game. We had to ride a bit of luck because Swansea still open you up, create those moments of quality, but we put them under pressure. And if you keep knocking at the door and ask questions, it's up to the opposition to see the game out," Rowett added. "We took something out of a game that probably after 30 minutes I couldn't see us taking anything at all." Millwall, who have 7 points from their opening 4 games, face another testing trip to title favourites Norwich City on Friday. Do we indeed? Are they title favourites? I don't know. While we're here, I wasn't going to do this, but let's have a look. Here you go. So, Millwall are now 5th because the other teams played today on Wednesday and we fall in one place. But just wanted to see if it still is the case, and yes, it is. So, by the way, West Bromwich Albion, 3rd from bottom. How's that going there, Jed Wallace? So, but what I wanted to say, if you go down to, so obviously Blackburn Rovers lost, I believe it was today. So there is, after 4 games, there is no team that has 100% record. There are still some teams that haven't lost a game. That's Hull, Watford, Preston, Rotherham, Wigan Athletic, and there are still some that haven't won a game. Coventry, Luton, West Bromwich Albion, Middlesbrough, and Wigan. Which I thought Middlesbrough would do better than that, but they've got 3 draws so far. They seem to be the draw specialist of this season, along with Wigan. So, but what I wanted to look to show you was if you go to the 4, the 4 column, you go down to Millwall, 7. We're the highest scorers in the league. Now that's joint highest because there are a number of other teams at 7. That's weird. That's weird. We're joint highest scorers. But so far, none of our strikers have actually scored a goal. Now Tyler Berry is kind of an attacking midfielder. He's an attacker. He's not a striker. Our strikers, I would say, are Benny Kafobi, Tom Bradshaw, Isaac Lofi, and the new guy, Vogelsama. None of our strikers have scored yet, which is weird. We've got 2 own goals. We're top scorers in the league, along with Sunderland and Middlesbrough, which was crazy. Top scorers in the league after 4 games. Absolutely mental. Now we're going to move on to this from millwallfc.co.uk. Sponsor your favourite Millwall player in 22-23. With the 22-23 season underway, it is your chance once again to sponsor your favourite player's kit for the campaign. Sponsoring a player's kit is not only a great way to show you support for the club, but also offers fantastic exposure opportunities for your business. On top of seeing your name in lights, you'll be able to enjoy a range of benefits, including the chance to meet your sponsored squad member, dine with them, and receive a signed shirt. Fantastic there. So this is what you get. You get a signed and framed shirt. You meet the sponsored player. You watch a private training session at a den. 2 invitations to a kit sponsor's lunch. A personalised letter from your sponsored player. A website message. and a presentation photo. So there you go. So I think now, obviously, they used to do the program. This took up 2-page spread in the program. You would see it then. Your name would be in there, and you could point to it and say, "Look, that's what I'm doing. I'm sponsoring Neil Harris's away kit. I'm sponsoring Leke Odunzu's home kit." So that would be in the program. Not only that, but you could take that program and then it exists forever as a record of what you did. But it seems they're going to be doing it online now, some way. We don't know how, but we await. But here, look, they're absolutely trying to capitalise on the situation here. For the first time, alongside home, away, and third kits, you can sponsor the Lions training kit too, which is quite funny because last season they didn't really, they didn't sell out of the home and away and third sponsorships, but they've added another one now, which is weird. And is that the one that you get? So it says here you signed a frame shirt. So if you sponsored a training shirt, do you get a signed a frame training shirt? Or if you sponsored a third kit, do you get the signed frame third kit? And well, you can see the prices there. There's quite a hefty fee. You can actually even do it online if your credit card will take it, which is incredible. I think that's for the first time only. It always used to be where you had to call up and like sort it all out. But one thing, so they used to give you 2 tickets to a game. That's obviously not happening now. They give you 2 tickets to a kit sponsor's lunch. They started doing this last season because if they were going to do that for a game, they would run out of games. And here, how many of these are they going to have to do? Because look at what they got. So they got home, away, third, training. That's 4. So if you sponsor each one of them, you get 2 tickets. So it's 4 times 2. How many players have you got? 25 or so? 30? The 2 times 4 times 25. That's a lot of people there. So how many freaking kit sponsors lunches are they going to have to hold? At least a couple. Yeah, insane. But there you go. Just letting you know if you're into that. Now, this is a weird one. Coming up now. Norwich City ban under 2s from attending home games amid safety fears. Yeah, they've been causing a bit of trouble. So this is a story. Namby-pamby, health and safety gone mad. Yogurt knitters causing all sorts of problems. Sticking their noses in. Norwich City ban under 2s from attending home games amid safety fears, according to reports emerging earlier this week. The Championship outfit won't allow children under the age of 2 in the stands of Carrow Road this season, after responding to research suggesting that noise generated by fans can have a damaging effect on the hearing of young children. Wembley announced last season that matches organised by the FA would also no longer permit under 2s as concern grows for the long-term impact of noise on young fans. It is part of a new trend amongst clubs to act on scientific advice around the needs for supporters, with Watford installing a sensory area for autistic fans at Vicarage Road. So here you go. In line with wider national stadiums, our entry guidelines for match days at Carrow Road have been updated. Children under the age of 2 will no longer be permitted in open air areas of the stadium and concourses. So there you go. If you were planning to take an under 2 child to Carrow Road on Friday, well, think again, buddy. Don't you dare. Norwich spoke to Wembley representatives and consulted with researchers before making the decision, and were wary of the possibility of claims being made against them in case of injury. So what is it? Do you care about the hearing of the children, or you just don't want to be sued now because someone did a report that allowing children to go to games can mess with their hearing. So now that that exists and that knowledge exists, you can be held liable for letting them in. The club said Norwich continue to review several personal injury accidents within sporting stadiums and venues, as well as assessing academic research regarding the impact of noise on infant hearing. So is it actually one of these lawyers that you see advertised during daytime TV? Have you had an accident or fall at work? Have you taken your child to a football game and he now can't hear anything? Well, contact us and we'll sue Norwich City Football Club. Is that what's going on? People already been on them, try and finesse some money out of them. I don't know. But the English Football League, meanwhile, say they haven't issued any advice to clubs regarding the entry of young children, and that clubs remain free to enforce their own policies and guidelines. So there you go. And then they they just copy and paste the Twitter conversation, which I'm not going to get into, but there you go. What do you think? Kids at football games, young babies at football games. Do you care? One thing I've noticed, they don't generally. I've never seen a crying baby at a football game. You see them on trains, you see them on the street, you see them in airplanes and stuff, in the airports, train stations. I've never heard a crying baby at a football game. So there must be something about the atmosphere that's soothing. Or maybe they're just catatonic, gone deaf, and they can't hear anything. I don't know, but weird one, absolute weird one. So yeah, you can't take your kid to Carrow Road on Friday, and there you have it. Now, told you about these events before. This isn't the first one. So this is from eventbrite.co.uk, and that's where you can find this event that's been sold there. You can buy tickets, and it's called Millwall FC History and Heritage Walking Tour. 25 years on the Isle of Dogs. They've been doing this for a while now. And the date and time of this one is just over a month's time, September the 24th, 2022. You can see there it's a couple of hours in West India Quay they start. So, this is apparently during the next international break, so it's not interrupting anything Millwall. It's on a Saturday. Have you walked the walk yet? Why not do it during the next international break? Come and join us on our third Out of the Blue event. Oh, it's the third one. Special trip back in time to discover all the key highlights of our famous old football club's early existence on the Isle of Dogs. And discover the very place where we were founded, the pub culture instilled from day one, the workplaces of our fan base, our club headquarters, plus all four sides of our very first football grounds in that 25 years time span before we moved across the river. So yeah, back in the day, 25 years, and we had 4 different grounds. Absolute crazy times. So we had to cross the river to get a decent ground and a solid footing to build on, and that was at Coldblow Lane. So this is a history and heritage tour which explores Millwall's life in the Isle of Dogs, the early days of rapid progress and highs and lows of the once leading light of London football. Before the Football League, there was a Southern League, and we were pretty fucking good in that. And then obviously the Football League took off, and that was like Betamax and VHS. The Football League just got bigger and bigger and better and better, and the Southern League teams had to join in with the Football League, and it kind of took the shine off of it. But well, I imagine if you go on this tour, you'll find out all about that. You don't need me to tell you. So they go on various pubs and stuff, Docklands Diner in West India Quay. So you can see, plaques and stuff, Morton's Jam Factory. So I've told you about this before. One thing why I'm bringing it up today, I knew this was happening. I was going to tell you closer to the day, The reason why I'm bringing it up because remarkably, this isn't run by Millwall Football Club. This is run by independent people. But Millwall Football Club's Twitter um, put out a tweet about this, which I think is pretty good. Nice of them to do that. I don't know if it's because tickets aren't selling or they're just doing it for a favour for them or what's happening. But yeah, that was pretty good to see Millwall Football Club boosting this tour and putting out a whole tweet about it. So that was pretty good. But yeah, so just over a month's time, September 24th, during the international break, 15 quid, and you go on a walk around. And I'm sure this is going to be a lot better than the absolute weirdos that you see walking around the city of London on the Jack the fucking Ripper tour. What's that about? What is that about? The geezer's a fucking serial killer. Are we going to have walking tours about Fred West and other people? Jeffrey Dahmer. We're going to have walking tours about that. It's all very weird, isn't it? This is a walking tour about something decent, not a fucking serial killer who cut up tarts and did all kinds of weird stuff. This is a good tour. So there you go. And you can find this at Eventbrite. You look at there in the top left, Eventbrite. .co.uk and just search for Millwall FC history. Now I'm sure it'll come up. So we're going to get onto the boring part of the video now. If you're not going to stay, thank you for watching. But if you are going to stay, this is the stats. This is from experimental361.com. Is the XG over the length of the match time? And as you can see, so obviously our XG is low. Not that low, pretty even. 1.4 to Swansea, 1.3 to Millwall. I don't know about this guy's method, but some XGs, own goals aren't counted because obviously it's not a shot on goal. We did a cross and then their players run onto it and hit in the goal. It's not an XG, so that if you add that doesn't factor into it. Another thing that doesn't factor in on some XG measures is if you hit the woodwork, if you hit the bar, if you hit the post, that is counted as a miss because technically it's not on target, is it? So it's not an expected goal because you wouldn't expect to score if you hit the bar. So it's the closest you can miss by, but it's still a miss. But what I wanted to show you was look at this. So obviously, again, this has happened many times over the last season and like literally like 3 games so far this season. The away team score with their first shot on goal. That is not good enough. It really isn't. But as well, you can see exponential staircase for Swansea in the black line between their first goal and their second goal. That is crazy. So obviously they score with their first goal, they have a bit of time, then they have another shot, which is a pretty good chance because the black line goes up a lot. And then their third shot is another decent chance. The black line goes up again. And then obviously the fourth one goes in. And that's another very good chance. And then they kind of settle down a bit. And then they have a little mini staircase, which when you compare the black line with the blue line, it seems they're counter-attacking. Pretty much when we have a chance on goal, they have a chance on goal soon after. And you can see once we get to around the 30th minute mark, we kind of flatten out till the end of the half. And to be fair, they did for the last about 5 minutes or so. And coming out again, around about the 60th minute mark, we attack, they attack. It looks similar, but they have a bit more going on. They have a smaller staircase pattern going on. But once the changes are made for Millwall in the 64th minute, we probably have our best chance of the game. And then we have a period of not having a chance until about the 77th minute. And then we go again, and as I say, the rest is history. And you can see here, from the 75th minute, what Swansea trying to do. Defend. They're just trying to defend. That line, from 76th minute to the end. Just defend. And I said it in yesterday's video, I've said it before. 5 substitutes now. We have 5 substitutes. Even if you're not going to use all 5. If you try and defend, you are a fucking idiot. Because the opposition, if they've still got the subs left, can bring 5 players on and come right at you. They can come right at you. Like I said, it's easier, and it happens all the time. If you are going to sub a player, it's going to be an attacker, it's going to be a forward player, it's going to be a wide player, it's going to be a midfielder. You never change your defenders. Now, maybe that's something we're going to see. We've been seeing it with Millwall. We don't know why Creswell. Is that a thing that's happening? Creswell getting taken off? Does he have to start? So it's part of the contract with the Leeds for the loan. I don't know, but is that a strategy now going forward with these subs? If you are going to defend and try and defend to see out the game, will you have to bring on a fresh defender to deal with it? Not just add a defender, literally take off the tired player, bring on a fresh defender, and start again. Because this substitution change is having an effect. You can't defend like this anymore. We used to do this before under Neil Harris. We'd go 1-0 up and just try and defend for the rest of the second half, and it barely ever worked. You can't do that. You can't just defend in football. Because you need to attack. Because there's no jeopardy for the team that's coming at you. They could literally leave one player on the halfway line to make sure for any counter-attacks in terms of being offside and all that. And just send the rest of the players forward. So let's move on now to info goal.net. The XG here is slightly different. If you look in the middle by the red FT, 1.75 to Swansea, 1.15 to Millwall. So obviously a lot different there. That maybe they've adjusted for the own goals. I don't know. Here are all the match events. Goal in the 1st minute, goal in the 12th minute. Injury for them on the 20th, had to make a change. Yellow cards for us, and on the 64-minute mark, 3 changes that changed the game. Scott Malone got booked soon after, and you can see when he took off 2 attackers, the 2 defenders, Manning and Chan, that was when the game changed. You saw it on the graph there, 75 to 76 minutes. That's when the game changed. Yeah, and the rest they say is history. So let's have a look at the XG shot map for this game from infogoal.net. There's Swansea shots up on the for the game. The ones in yellow are the goals. That one there, and that one there. And these other 2 are the ones that I showed you with better chances. 8th minute, 4th minute. So literally, these 2 big ones and the 2 yellow ones are the first 4 shots that they had. The first one went in, and the 4th one went in. And the third, 2nd and 3rd were saved. But you can see we did restrict them. After that, after the crazy opening half hour, we did start to restrict them from taking shots from outside the area. This is Millwall's. This looks pretty, doesn't it? It looks like parabola. Is that what they call it? You can see like a little arch where they get to the D and have a shot, and then on the sides as well, in line with the D. That's fucking weird. So fairness rating, was that a fair result? 87.4 out of 100. So yeah, pretty decent. That was a fair result. You wouldn't think it to watch the first half, but let's have a split for the first and second half. So first half, this is Swansea in the first half. This is Millwall in the first half. Obviously, not a lot going on for Millwall, and everything going on. Swansea. Second half, a lot better, a lot better. Sorinola, 70% on the 70th minute, 10%. Here's Millwall. So George Saville, 79, best chance there, because obviously if you haven't seen this before, the bigger the circle, the better the chance. And our best chance was George Saville, 79 minutes. And his other two here, what are they? McNamara, 90 plus 4, and George Honeyman, 65. So who is the outlier? What is this one here? Vogelsummer. Vogelsummer, when he hit the bar. So they're including it on this shot map. 4% that was. Just hit the bar and came back out. So let's move on to whoscored.com. Here you can see Murray Wallace given man of the match by quite a margin, 8.4, to Bart Bukowski with 7.7. Yes, some pretty decent saves from Bart yesterday. The tackle from Ryan Leonard. There's some pretty decent actions going on. Scott Malone crossing it in with his right foot, I believe. A lot of people getting on Scott Malone's back, but I think he's had like 3 assists so far. And you can see there he had the most tackles in yesterday's game, 4. So that's not bad. Millwall created a high number of chances relative to their possession, were effective at creating goal scoring opportunities from the flanks, were effective at creating goal scoring opportunities from set pieces. Attack through the middle, had a high shot frequency when in position of David crossing the ball. And here you can go. We actually had the same amount of attempts as them, 17 to 17, 14 to 6 open play, 2 to 9 set pieces, 1 to 0 counter attacks, and we got 2 own goals. And that gives us a conversion rate of 2 goals from 17 shots, 11%. Exactly the same as them. So you can see why that was a fair result for that to be a draw, if that's the case. Millwall slightly edging going down the right hand side. The shot directions there. Again, the new thing that's happening, going through the middle. Shot zones. Basically 3/4 inside the 18-yard box and a quarter from outside the box. Action zones. Player positions. Now this one was interesting. Look at our line. Look how high our line is. Were we trying to play them offside, or were we trying to not make a gap between the midfield and the defence for them to exploit? We're playing pretty compact. You can see, what is it there? 5 players, 7, 8, 39, 16 and 5. All playing in the middle there, compacting. 14 was the outlier. That's Tyler Burry, yeah? 11 is Malone, 2 is McNamara, so interesting stuff there. Playing a high line. Let's see if we did get them offsides. You can see number 1 on for Swansea playing quite far out, because obviously they play it out from the back, the goalkeeper, so he's further out than Buys. Let's get into the stats now. Here we go with the match events as we've seen from the other page. If you look at the club badges at the top, you will see 6.6 for Swansea, 6.71 for Millwall. So Millwall's players actually got better ratings in that game. And as we've seen, Murray Wallace man of the match, 8.4. After Bukowski was 7.7, we are looking at Malone, 7.1. Interesting stuff. And for them, they have 7.6 for Ncham. And they gave Manning 7.5, so that's interesting. Let's have a little play around with this and go to the first half and the second half. So here we are at the first half. That's interesting. So we actually had better rated players at half time. 6.49 to 6.46. Interesting stuff there. Okay. Now, let's see what happens when we change it to the second half. Okay, move this up to the half time. And 6.21 to 6.13. Okay, that's interesting. Let's change it back. This is the whole game. And let's just get through it. So let's start off with total shots. So even though they just said we had 17, I think they included the 2 own goals. So we actually had 15 shots and 2 own goals adds it up to 17 attempts on goal or whatever they called it. I don't know. It's not technically a shot. Like I said, we didn't have a shot. We just crossed it in there, hit their players and winning. But you can see here total football again from Swansea, more or less all of their players having shots, except for Fisher and Wood. And similarly for us, apart from Cresswell, Malone and Biakowski, all of the outfield having a shot or two. With Afobe being highest. And like I said, it's weird that we're top scorers in the league, and our main striker that everyone's happy signed on for the season hasn't scored yet. Weird. But hey, when he does, here's the thing: when he does start scoring, that's going to be the cherry on top, isn't it? If we can win games or draw games like yesterday's, and we haven't even we're fifth in the table, we're top scorers in the league after 4 games, and not a single goal has been scored by one of our strikers. I mean, that's insane. That is insane. But like I say, once they do start scoring, it's going to be crazy. Possession 60 to 40, obviously. Let them have the ball, let them tippy tap it around, and let them run the clock down. That's fine. It didn't work, did it? For us though, what are we looking at? Honeyman, 4.3% of the match possession is just for him, which is probably beaten by most of the Swansea team, apart from the geezer who were injured and Obafemi, who was just a point man, and Uncham. So there you go. Pass success percentage 83 to 78. Shackleton 92. Interesting stuff. Now he did go off on the 64th minute, so he wasn't on for the full 90. But we'll have to look into that and see how he did. Afobe with 87, that's good. Obviously not giving the ball away when he's passing it around up front. And again, Murray Wallace, 84. Probably why he's one of the reasons why he got the man of the match from this website. Dribbles 4 to 5, Furry and Shackleton. Aerials 1, 19 to 24. Everyone except for Mitchell and Biakowski won an aerial. Jewel, Murray Wallace won 8 of them. Fantastic stuff. Fantastic. Well done, Murray. Tackles 11 to 17 tackles. Remarkably, Murray Wallace the only defender to win a tackle of the starting 11, of course. Ryan Leonard had 1 tackle, and that was an absolutely amazing one that saved us from losing that game. So you can look at the stats, but you got to look at the game. Honeyman with 3 as well. Malone with 4. So obviously a lot of tackling going on down this right hand side. Oh yeah, I wanted to show you that. I didn't mention that, did I? So look here. You look on the left hand side of Swansea. What does it look like they're playing? It looks like they're playing 4-4-2, but with an outside right and a central striker, instead of having two strikers down the middle. So that's why we've got Murray Wallace and Scott Malone. Maybe they thought they could get him behind Scott Malone because he generally does a lot of attacking. Maybe they thought they could get him behind him, but yeah, Murray Wallace was there, so that didn't work out, did it? But you can see 7 tackles going down our left hand side. Yeah, they did the business down there. Well done, guys. Corners 6 to 7. Dispossessed 10 to 6. Okay. Now we're going to finish up now. Nearly done. Just going to go through the the chart of stuff. Most of what we've already seen, but a little bit more. So, oh, great! There are no results to show. That's going to be even quicker. So let's have a look at this. In terms of Murray Wallace 8.41, Bart 7.67, Scott Malone 7.11, so 3 players on 7, one just or couple just below 6.99 for Jake Cooper, 6.96 for George Honeyman. In terms of subs, so Sean Hutchinson, number 7 best player, despite only having 30 minutes on the pitch. What does that tell you? Now, why isn't he playing? Why isn't he playing? Is he okay? Is he injured? Is he coming back from injury? Is Cresswell required to play under the terms of his loan, so we don't have to end up paying a lot of money? Maybe it's cheaper if he starts. I don't know. It's weird, but Hutchinson, he replaced. Who did he replace? Jake Cooper. Oh, so he didn't get as good a score as Jake Cooper, but nearly. He had third as much time on the pitch as Jake Cooper and got 6.77 to Jake Cooper's 6.99. Shackleton. So the other subs, yeah. So Ryan Lender 6.18, even though he didn't make that wonder tackle. Andreas Vogelsammer 6.19, hit the woodwork. George Saville 6.04. Charlie Cresswell 6.11. So the lowest rated of the starting 11 is Charlie Cresswell. After that glorious start he had, the debut where he scored the 2 goals, what's happened to him? Was that a blip? Did it get to his head? Is he? I don't know. He's gone off the ball a bit, isn't he? He needs to rein it back in a bit and focus on the fundamentals. Let's see if this will work. It probably won't. Yeah, nah, not working. So we've only got what we got in front of us. So we can look at shots and shots on target. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Oh dear. Look at all these shots, right? So 3 from Mafobi, 2 Murray Wallace, 2 Shackleton, 2 Bury, and then 1-1, 1-1, 1-1. How many on target? Probably seen it already. Only 1 shot on target out of all those shots. 15 shots, is it? 15 shots, 1 on target. I mean, come on. That's not good at all. That really isn't good. 15 and 1? That's insane. So yeah, I can't bring any of this up, so the video is going to have to end there. So thank you for watching, and goodbye.